Imagine a creature with 5 eyes, a flexible, nozzle-like proboscis ending in a claw, and a body unlike almost anything alive today. At first glance, it looks alien, something from science fiction, but this bizarre animal was real. Over 500 million years ago, long before dinosaurs, mammals, or even fish ruled the oceans, Earth's seas were home to strange evolutionary experiments unlike anything in the modern world. And among the strangest of them all was Opabinia, a soft-bodied marine animal so unusual that when scientists first revealed it to the public, paleontologists reportedly laughed in disbelief. But behind its bizarre appearance lies one of the most important clues to understanding the evolution of complex life on Earth. To understand Opabinia, we must travel back to the Cambrian period, roughly 508 million years ago. This was a revolutionary chapter in Earth's history known as the Cambrian Explosion. Before this period, life on Earth was relatively simple. Most organisms were microscopic or soft-bodied creatures with limited complexity. Then, in a surprisingly short geological window, evolution accelerated dramatically. Suddenly, oceans filled with bizarre and diverse organisms. Predators evolved, eyes evolved, armor evolved, complex movement evolved. Many of the major animal groups alive today trace their origins back to this extraordinary era. The Cambrian seas were crowded with evolutionary experiments, creatures testing entirely new body plans for survival. Some lineages succeeded and survived to this day. Others vanished forever. Opabinia was one of the strangest branches of this ancient evolutionary tree. The story of Opabinia begins in the Canadian Rockies. In 1912, paleontologist Charles Doolittle Walcott discovered the Burgess Shale in British Columbia, Canada. This fossil site became one of the most important paleontological discoveries in history because it preserved soft-bodied organisms with extraordinary detail. Normally, soft tissues decay rapidly after death. But the Burgess Shale preserved delicate anatomical structures rarely seen in fossils: eyes, gills, internal organs, soft appendages. Among these fossils was a creature unlike anything scientists had ever seen. When British paleontologist Harry Whittington reconstructed Opabinia in the 1970s, the scientific community was stunned. The animal appeared so bizarre that audiences reportedly laughed during its presentation at a paleontology conference. 5 eyes, a clawed proboscis, a segmented swimming body. At the time, no one knew exactly where this creature belonged in the animal kingdom. Opabinia regalis was relatively small, reaching around 4 to 7 centimeters in length. But its appearance was unforgettable. Its body consisted of multiple segments lined with flap-like appendages used for swimming. At the rear was a fan-shaped tail that likely helped with steering and stability underwater. But the head was the true mystery. Opabinia possessed 5 stalked eyes positioned across the top of its head. This unusual arrangement may have provided a wide field of vision to detect predators, prey, or obstacles in dim Cambrian waters. Extending from the front of the head was its most famous feature, a flexible proboscis ending in a grasping claw-like structure. This appendage may have been used to capture food from the seafloor or pull small prey toward its mouth. Beneath the head sat a backward-facing mouth, another unusual anatomical trait. Opabinia lived in shallow marine environments during the Middle Cambrian period. At that time, most life existed in the oceans. There were no forests, no birds, no mammals, no dinosaurs. The continents themselves looked completely different from today. The Cambrian seas teemed with trilobites, worms, early arthropods, sponges, and primitive predators. The ocean floor was a dynamic ecosystem filled with scavengers, filter feeders, and hunters competing for survival. Opabinia likely moved slowly above or along the seabed, using its flaps to glide gracefully through the water. Its flexible feeding appendage suggests it may have searched for soft-bodied prey, organic debris, or tiny organisms hidden in sediment. The feeding behavior of Opabinia remains one of the most fascinating aspects of its biology. Its clawed proboscis appears highly specialized. Scientists believe it may have used this appendage to grab small prey, pick organic matter from the sediment, manipulate food toward the mouth, scavenge dead organisms. Its backward-facing mouth created additional mystery. Rather than biting prey directly ahead, Opabinia may have curled its proboscis downward to transfer food underneath its head. This unusual design highlights how experimental evolution was during the Cambrian Explosion. Modern animals tend to follow familiar body plans, but Cambrian organisms explored a far wider range of anatomical possibilities. Opabinia moved using rows of lateral body flaps. These flaps likely undulated in wave-like motions, allowing controlled swimming through the water column. This swimming style may resemble movement seen in modern cuttlefish or rays, though Opabinia was unrelated to either. Its tail fan helped stabilize movement while navigating complex underwater environments. Its multiple eyes provided advanced visual awareness compared with many organisms of its time. During the Cambrian period, vision was becoming one of evolution's most powerful survival tools. Predators and prey alike entered an evolutionary arms race driven by sight. The Cambrian oceans were dangerous places. Large predators such as Anomalocaris hunted many smaller organisms. With its soft body and relatively small size, Opabinia was likely vulnerable to attack. Its survival strategies may have included enhanced vision through 5 eyes, agile swimming, camouflage against the seafloor, careful scavenging behavior. Unlike armored trilobites, Opabinia lacked heavy protection. Its best defense was likely awareness and mobility. Why is Opabinia so important to science? Because it helps researchers understand how major animal groups evolved. For decades, scientists debated where Opabinia belonged on the evolutionary tree. Today, many researchers believe it was related to early arthropods, the group that eventually gave rise to insects, spiders, and crustaceans. Its anatomy may represent an intermediate evolutionary stage showing how complex segmented animals developed over time. The study of Opabinia revolutionized paleontology because it demonstrated that ancient life was far stranger and more experimental than previously imagined. It challenged the assumption that evolution followed simple, predictable paths. Instead, the Cambrian Explosion revealed an incredible diversity of body designs, many of which disappeared forever. Without the Burgess Shale, we might never have known Opabinia existed. Most Cambrian soft-bodied organisms left little trace behind. But unique geological conditions rapidly buried these creatures in fine sediment before scavengers or decay destroyed them. This created one of the greatest fossil windows into early animal evolution ever discovered. Today, the Burgess Shale remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most important locations for studying the origins of complex life. Eventually, Opabinia disappeared from Earth's oceans. The reasons remain uncertain, but extinction was common during early evolutionary history. As ecosystems changed and competition intensified, many strange Cambrian lineages vanished forever. Yet Opabinia's legacy survived in the fossil record. It became a symbol of evolution's creativity, proof that life once experimented with forms far stranger than most people ever imagined. At first glance, Opabinia seems almost unreal. 5 eyes, a clawed nozzle, a body unlike anything alive today. But this bizarre creature represents something profound: the incredible flexibility of evolution itself. In Earth's ancient oceans, life explored countless possibilities, and Opabinia was one of evolution's strangest masterpieces. If you enjoyed diving into the alien-like world of Opabinia, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more prehistoric and wildlife documentaries. And tell us in the comments, which ancient sea creature should we explore next?